Hello everyone, my name is Henry, also known as Grunk Bricks, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the LEGO Series 25 collectible minifigures from worst to first. Just a quick point of clarification I'd like to make. Just because I ranked the minifigure low on the list or in last place doesn't mean I don't enjoy the minifigure. I still like all of them. They're all great. They're just my least favorite. Now let's not waste any more time and get into it. Coming in at number 12 and last on this list is the esports gamer, also referred to as the gamer girl. I really like this minifigure, as I mentioned in the introduction. Just because this is last doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. It's just my least favorite on this list. All these minifigures are awesome, but I really love the homage to the old Lego Knights. She is part of the Black Falcon Gaming, I believe it is. On the back of the torso, she has another Vita Rush. Interesting how Vita Rush appears a lot during this theme. Just find that very interesting. I like her hairpiece and the headphones that she has around her neck, and I really like, my favorite aspect of the minifigure probably is the keyboard and mouse printed tiles, as well as the side leg printing. I think those are really unique details. And she's got the trophy over to the right. The trophy, give or take, but it's a nice little addition to this minifigure to help justify the cost. At number 11, we have the Pet Groomer. I think what really makes this minifigure, in my opinion, and as well as many others, is the dog that comes with it, the Afghan, I believe it's called, breed. What a cool looking dog and mold, as well as her minifigure isn't horrible. I know there's a little bit of backlash. She doesn't have that much detail. However, she has a cochlear implant, if I'm not mistaken, hairpiece, which I find really unique and interesting, as well as her printing on the front, the little apron with the dog paw print, I find pretty neat and unique. Overall, a solid minifigure. Nothing much to harp on about it, and let's move on to the next one. Breaking into the top 10, we have the Triceratops Costume Fan. I personally enjoy this minifigure. The problem is we've seen this before with the LEGO CMF series with the fan in a dinosaur costume. It's not much different. I really like the Triceratops head mold piece. I think that's really unique. However, it's one of those figures where it's not too unique in the sense that we've seen it before, as I previously mentioned. The printing's pretty cool on the back with that the green coloring and the brown spots and such, but we literally just saw the series prior in series 24. So when I saw it and I opened it up, not really too interested in it personally. Moving on to the next one. At number 9, we have the Sprinter. I really enjoy this minifigure. I like how it pays homage to the year that this series came out, which is 2024, using the bib number both on the front and back of his torso printing. I think that's really neat. The metal over his neck covers that a bit, but you can also remove that metal if you truly wanted to. His face printing is pretty good. He's got the double-sided face printing, one side showing, hey, he's tired, a little bit of sweat dripping down his forehead because he just sprinted. And I think his leg molding is pretty neat, and we will see another instance of this leg mold variant in another minifigure in a little bit. Overall, a really solid minifigure. I forgot to mention he's standing on that 1x2 brick saying number 1. The printing on my brick was a little chipped, so that was a bit unfortunate in this minifigure instance, but overall, a really neat minifigure, and that takes the cake for number 9. At number 8, we have the fitness instructor, also referred to by others as the weightlifter. This figure I've seen on a lot of other lists on this platform be their least favorite and last place, 12 out of 12. For me, on the other hand, I really think this minifigure is neat. I love the Vita Rush water bottle she's holding. I love her face printing, the sweat dripping down, bleeding down, as well as her hairpiece is really unique. I don't know if this is we've ever had this in the blonde coloring. The dumbbell that she is holding is super cool. I like the detailing. I think you get multiple of those, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's a cool little extra piece you get. And the tattoo on the side is so cool. I don't know an instance of LEGO besides maybe the Barbarian, if that counts in this series of LEGO using tattoo on their arms. Having tattoos on the minifigure's arms. So that is something really cool. I also like the torso printing. It's got the abs and it's got the sports running across. Really neat minifigure, and also dual motor legs. You cannot go wrong with that. Overall, I think this is a really underrated minifigure, and that is why she deserves number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have the Train Kid. We've seen this gimmick before with a little kid of some sort inside of a costume or a mold of the sorts, as I mentioned. but I don't mind this gimmick, you could say. I like how he's just inside of this little train car. It's got Series 25 as if it's the 25 train, paying homage to, hey, it's Series 25. I also love his face printing. I love he's got the little eye patch over his eye, and his cap is in a really cool color. I don't know. Maybe I just have a little sweet spot for it, but and it's a nice looking minifigure. I know, as I mentioned with the weightlifter, a lot of people don't like this minifigure because we've seen this gimmick before, but I think this is a well executed minifigure, and that's why it deserves its spot. Coming in at number 6 and just missing the top 5 is the film noir detective, also referred to as the inspector. This is probably my most controversial opinion of this list, and a lot of people once again have this inside their top 3 or even their favorite. I don't know. I don't see what all the hype is about this minifigure. The cloth piece around the neck is really neat, and the concept is neat. I just personally don't care too much. There's not much color. It's pretty bland. The face printing's pretty cool, except, once again, there's only one side of the face printing. The magnifying glass and the red fish is neat. The dual molded legs are cool, but overall, I think this is a bland minifigure. When I first got this and opened it up, I was like, oh, okay, neat. But I wasn't really looking at it and raving at it and enjoying for what it is. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of others love the concept and the idea behind it, but that is why, in my opinion, it is in the 6th spot and just missing the top 5. And beating out the film noir detective is Harpy. She gets the number 5 spot, also known as the Valkyrie to some other people. I, at first, was not a fan of this minifigure, but when I got it in hand and opened it up and I appreciate the minifigure for what it is, I really enjoy it. The hairpiece, first off, is super interesting, as well as the color of her face, which is like that light pink, and the detailing is really, really good. Overall, this minifigure has everything you would want in a CMF minifigure pack, because it's got really unique legs. That's definitely the most definitive aspect of the minifigure, with those talons, you could say, that she has on her feet and also on her hands that she's holding. The printing on the torso is super underrated. It's got back printing as well as arm and side printing, and the hairpiece as well as the wings are really neat. Overall, I was very surprised. I was not expecting to put this so high when I first saw the initial photos of this, and it is going to be number 5, making the top 5. Coming in at number 4 and just missing the top 3 is the Fierce Barbarian. That is the official name of it. I just refer to it as the Barbarian. I would have had this in number 3, but there's one minifigure that has stolen my heart, and you'll see it in a second. But this minifigure, I think unanimously in the LEGO community, is regarded as just a really solid CMF. She has this awesome looking sword, which I don't think has been seen before in LEGO, and it's just massive. It looks really good with the hilt. Her hairpiece is super neat. It's like that red with that headband going across. She's got multiple face prints, one just yelling at you and another stern one. The printing on this minifigure is out of this world. The arm printing is sweet. The torso and leg printing. The leg printing is probably the best part, just how detailed it is, as well as it goes all the way around the minifigure. Overall, it's a really solid minifigure, and she gets the number 4 spot. And cracking the top 3 is the Mushroom Sprite. I don't know the official term. I just call it the Mushroom Girl. This, as I mentioned just a minute ago, this figure has really stolen my heart. When I first saw the initial release, I said, oh, that minifigure is really neat. But getting in hand, wow, I really, really like this minifigure. First off, the most obvious feature is the headpiece, and it's super detailed and super cool, and the printing's outstanding on it, and there's a lot. It's very versatile. You can put on a lot of different minifigures. Her headpiece, she's got multiple expressions, one really happy and one with a little smile. I like, and the cheeks detailing looks really good on it. Her torso is pretty neat as well, front and back side printing, but I wasn't expecting that to have that skirt be a separate piece, which I think is really neat, as well as her little short legs are dual printed, and she's got a beautiful looking butterfly she's holding. Overall, I was not expecting this minifigure as much as I do, as I mentioned previously, but it definitely deserves a number 3 spot. And in the number 2 spot, we have the Goat Herd, also referred to as the Shepherd. This minifigure is unanimously just one of the favorites. A lot of people have this at their number one spot. I love, first and foremost, the goat that comes with it. It looks super good. Whoops, I'm sorry, I just knocked it over. I'm looking and holding in my hand as I look at this. I love that goat mold. It looks super nice. This minifigure is really highly valued, just because of that piece, I would assume. He's holding, I don't really know what he's holding, but aside from his little stick he's walking with, his face printing, he's got two expressions. They all are just really happy. He's got his little backpack to put whatever he wants in there, and his little cloak. And his printing looks really good. I love his leg printing with his little bag, of gold or something you can imagine. Whatever he has in there. He's got a little bit of arm printing and torso printing as well. Overall, I think this minifigure is really neat looking. I personally seek it when I'm going to the store and scanning it. Really neat minifigure. Super good job by LEGO, and that is why it deserves a number 2 spot. But it cannot beat the number 1 spot, which is, I think it's pretty obvious when you review and watch these videos that the number 1 is most likely going to be the Vampire Knight, and that is no different for me. This minifigure is absolutely outstanding. When I think of like the CMFs, I think, oh, LEGO puts a lot of money and time into these minifigures, and I think this is one minifigure that LEGO definitely put the most amount of money into their parts usage. Just starting off with the headpiece is super neat, paying homage once again to the old Knight series, and oh my gosh. And then you can there's so much to talk about, and I will try not to take too much time. The face printing is just unbelievable. His 2 different sides of the face with different colors around the eyes are just brilliant looking. And then his cape, which in my opinion is probably the standout. A great looking cape. It's got, jags coming out the bottom. And then also, you got the shield with his logo in the front, and then he's got his little, I don't even know, axe you would call it, his double-sided axe. And then the cherry on top is the printing on this minifigure. His leg printing looks outstanding, dual-molded legs. His torso with that red that red felt or chain, whatever you want to call it. And then he's also got arm printing, which you can barely even see because the cape is just so awesome looking with that red inside and then that gray on the back with that his logo. Wow, I'm just like rambling on. This minifigure takes the cake for the number 1 spot, hands down. And that is my ranking of the LEGO CMF Series 25 minifigures. Wow, great series. Not the best. I'm super excited for the Space series coming out. I think that tops this series, but we'll see once I get my hand on all of them, and I'll do a review and ranking all the minifigures from worst to first, 12 to 1. But thank you guys all for watching. Check out my brick link and Twitter in the bio of my channel, and thank you guys. Appreciate it. Bye.